Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lucy and in today's video I am filming a very special bookshelf tour. So this is actually the first bookshelf tour I've properly filmed in my current home, which is crazy because I have been here for over a year now and I just love where I keep my books in my current house. So I wanted to give you guys a proper tour. This is a tour of my bookshelves but also a tour of my book collection, which I haven't really done that much on this channel, so I really hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you do like what you see, and let's get on with the bookshelf tour. So as you can see here, these are my two main bookshelves. So we are right next to this gorgeous window that I have. It's definitely my favourite part of my flat. So I really love that my bookshelves just look so perfect next to these windows. It all looks very aesthetic. Whenever you see me filming a sitting down type video, you can bet that I'm sitting in front of these windows and in front of my bookshelves. So as I said, I have these two main shelves. So let's zoom in on the bookshelves and I will show you guys what my shelves look like and what books are on there. So as you can see, these are my main bookshelves here, and we've just got some nice little plants up here. This is a lovely little plant that hangs down. We've got some artwork over here, which I will kind of talk about. Basically, my little sister, who is absolutely adorable, painted a little kind of like book like symbol for me, and also a gaming, like a little games controller painting to represent my boyfriend. So I keep these up here. I think they look really cute next to, you know, and on top of my bookshelves. And I just really like the look of how everything looks like this. And this is basically what the shelves look like. I haven't gone mad with decorating them, as you can see, and I'm very well aware that there are too many books for the shelves, hence why I'm going to get another shelf for here. So let's go into further detail and I'll show you guys my favourite things about each of these bookshelves. Okay, so starting with this top shelf, we have some absolutely gorgeous books, some of my all-time favourite books actually. What I really wanted to do with this bookshelf though was to make it super kind of dark. So you'll see that I have my original A Court of Thorns and Roses series paperbacks here. I also have some proofs, so I have my Six of Crows proof, my Six of Crows finished copy, and my Crooked Kingdom finished copy as well. I also have some Penguin classics here, so I have Anna Karenina by Leah Tolstoy. I have Charles Dickens' A Tale of Two Cities, and what else do I have? I have Euripides, Medea, and other plays. So I just like how this dark aesthetic looks, really. I don't know, I just find that it looks really kind of cute and aesthetic. So that is kind of the main vibe of the top shelf. I also have some newer hardbacks, which I know the blue kind of pops out a bit. It doesn't really go with the vibe, but I just needed somewhere to stick these big hardbacks, so I put them here. So we have Sorrow and Bliss by Meg Mason. We have The Maidens, which I still do need to read. I haven't read this yet. And we have The Shadows Between Us, and this is by Trisha Levenseller. And then some kind of shelf decorations. I have these kind of like wooden tarot style cards. So we have this one, which is supposed to be Persephone, I believe. The tarot card is the Sun. And then we have this one, which is supposed to be Hades, and this is the tarot card Death. So these are actually from an Illumicrate box. I just think they're really cool, so I kind of keep them on these shelves. Okay, and this is where I'm a little bit embarrassed because I feel like it gets super messy. So we have this cute little pumpkin tea light holder here. I had to, of course, decorate for autumn, so I got this really cute little pumpkin, which I'm in love with, and it's just adorable. So there isn't really a vibe here. I kind of wanted to have all dark books, but you know, some of them just stick out. So we've kind of got like dark books, but with a hint of colour or a hint of foil. So this one is a completely foil spine. And to be honest, I don't love the look of this spine kind of popping out here, but it is A Heart So Fierce and Broken. And the first book in the series, A Curse So Dark and Lonely, is this book here. And it's a proof copy, which means that the finished copy and the proof copy don't necessarily match. But anyway, I do think this shelf looks really cute, and ignore this, guys, because I really do need some more bookshelves, but I've just had to stick books anywhere they will fit at the minute, which is not ideal. Okay, so now we're on the next shelf down, and this one is predominantly just hardbacks, because these are basically all the really awkward hardbacks. Like, all these size hardbacks are just really awkward and hard to kind of fit around other books. So these are just the awkward hardbacks, but some of my favorites are definitely Chain of Iron. Like, just look how gorgeous this book is. I mean, the foil is stunning, and it is, of course, signed by Cassandra Clare, so this was a special edition. I think this is the Waterstones special edition, but this is one of my favourite books on the shelf. We also have this stunning book, which is Shakespeare for Every Day of the Year. This was kindly gifted to me a while back, and honestly, it is just a thing of beauty. So this is literally every single day of the year, there is a Shakespeare verse or a sonnet, and I think it's really special. I just really love the look of this. I think it's like super aesthetic and looks really, really pretty next to all of my other green books here. As you can see, there's like a little green collection, which I really like the look of. Okay, so we've moved down another shelf here, and this is all the hardbacks again that kind of like are awkward sizes or don't quite fit. But I do have this little tin here, which is actually a bookish tin from Illumicrate. So it's just a little Percy Jackson inspired tin. I think this is really cute, and it kind of like sits quite nicely on my bookshelf here. So what I do have here are my His Dark Materials series, and also all my Rainbow Rowell books. So I find that all of Rainbow Rowell's books are really kind of like colourful and just look lovely on your bookshelf. So I have Carry On here, Wayward Son, and Fangirl. And then I've just got some other books up top, basically books that just don't fit. So one of my favourites is, of course, Rule of Wolves by Leigh Bardugo. This actually I haven't read, which is a similar story to most of the books on my bookshelves. But this is just a really gorgeous, gorgeous book, and I love having it on my bookshelves. Another book I want to shout out is Sana's book club journal. So Sana is obviously Books and Quills here on YouTube. She released this book club journal earlier on in the year, and it's just super lovely, and I just like having it on my shelves because it just looks super, super aesthetic. Okay, and then on this bottom shelf I have some more hardbacks and also a lot of trade paperbacks. So these two are actually proof copies, These Hollow Vows and Once Upon a Broken Heart. And then these books are all kind of like trade paperbacks that don't quite fit in. So I've got Heartstopper series here, and then I've got a load of lovely hardbacks here. I also have this really lovely Addie LaRue print, which I got in an Illumicrate box. And I think it's actually a magnetic picture frame, so I could even put my own photo in here. So I just like the look of this down here. And that is actually the first bookshelf done. So I'll give you guys a little pan down. This is what it looks like. And we will go on to the next bookshelf. Okay, so this is what the next bookshelf looks like. As you can see, we have our lovely plant here. This is always in the background of all of my videos. I just love it. I think it looks super cute. And I actually think this bookshelf here is just my favorite bookshelf because it definitely looks a lot more put together, you know? Like, the colors just seem to pop. I love that all of these books up here are kind of matching, and I love the kind of like all white look here. So let's go into a little bit more detail. Okay, so I actually call this my Sarah J Maas shelf because it has a lot of my Sarah J Maas books on. But as you can see, I've kind of spoiled the vibe here by including like these books up at the top. Mainly, it's a space issue, guys. I need to buy another bookshelf, and hopefully we'll get rid of this kind of problem here. But anyway, let's go through the Sarah J Maas books I've got on this shelf. So the first ones are the New Look hardbacks of the A Court of Thorns and Roses series. So I just think these all look super aesthetic. As you can see, they're just like, I actually really like these covers now. I think they're really growing on me. So we also have some US editions. I have the US edition of A Court of Frost and Starlight here, and of course the US edition of A Court of Wings and Ruin. I also have here my proof copy of Sarah J Maas's House of Earth and Blood. So can you just appreciate how huge this book is? I mean, it's just beautiful, but it's a chonker. And then as kind of decorations for the shelf, I have the 2 pre-order pins that I have for Sarah J Maas as well. So this was actually a pre-order incentive, I think for, what was it, Tower of Dawn maybe? So this one's really cute. And then this one I think was a pre-order incentive for, I think, A Court of Wings and Ruin maybe. I just really love this one as well. Okay, so this is the next shelf down. And I really enjoy this one just because it is very aesthetic. Like all the kind of Sarah J Maas Throne of Glass paperbacks are here. These are all the UK editions. So I have all of the series, and then I actually have a proof copy here of A Court of Thorns and Roses. That is how old I am, guys. I literally have been doing this for so long. I was there to get an original A Court of Thorns and Roses proof, and even better, it is signed by Sarah J Maas, so I love that. Okay, we have another problem here with the overcrowding. As you can see, we have a proof copy here of The Winter Garden, which is super lovely. And then we just have some random paperbacks here. We have some Mills and Boon romances. So we have The Highlander and The Wallflower. Love. So yeah, I've just kind of shoved a load of random books up here because they wouldn't fit anywhere else. But we also have my Brandon Sanderson collection here and a few kind of light tone or white paperbacks here. Also, I have a collection of candles. So this is a bookish candle, and I'm not sure if you can see that. It is called Old Bookshop. It's described as dusty tomes and leather bound books, and I just think it's just the perfect candle for my bookshelves, you know? Okay, so we're gonna move down from this shelf to the one below, which I think is my favorite shelf ever because it just looks so pretty, guys. And it's got all of my Jane Austen books on. This shelf, as I said, is one of my favorites. We've got my whole Jane Austen collection here. So Persuasion, Emma, Sense and Sensibility, Mansfield Park, Northern Garabi, and Pride and Prejudice here. We also just have some lovely kind of like pinkish books. So we have my Sally Rooney proof of Beautiful World, Where Are You? We have this absolutely stunning edition of Wuthering Heights. And the best thing about this edition for me is it has deckled edges, which I absolutely love. So I love this edition. And then as decoration on this shelf, we have a little Jane Austen book, which is The History of England by a Partial, Prejudiced and Ignorant Historian, which is just kind of a joke, kind of like history of England that Jane Austen wrote when she was younger. So I bought this from the Jane Austen Centre in Bath, and it just complements my shelf really well, especially because I have all the Jane Austen books behind it. Then over on this side, we have some of my cloth-bound classics. We have Frankenstein, Jane Eyre, Pride and Prejudice, and The Odyssey. And here we have a Nigel Slater cookbook. It's called The Christmas Chronicles, and it is just a lovely, lovely cookbook. So I really love this shelf. I'd love to know what you guys think of this shelf. I just think it's really gorgeous with all the colours, all the pastels. I think it's really special. So let's move on to the shelf below. Okay, so this is the shelf below it. And you know what, guys? I have nothing really to say about this shelf except this is where all the paperbacks live. I have a mix of really random paperbacks here, and honestly, I do need a bit more of a theme here, I think, because it just doesn't look very aesthetic. I do really enjoy like piling my books up like this because it means you can really fit more on your bookshelf, but I do really want like a better colour palette and like a better aesthetic for this. So some highlights of this shelf are my lovely proof of What If It's Us by Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera, and this one's actually signed by the both of them because I did chair their book event in Manchester around this publication. So it was just a lovely experience, and that's why this proof will have a special place in my heart. And then tucked away in here as well, I have this really old edition of The Tenant of Wildfell Hall and Agnes Grey by Anne Bronte. So I just found this in a charity shop and I just thought it was really special. So this is a nice little kind of treat on my shelf. I just think this is really cute and I really need to make more of a show of this, I think, because it is kind of tucked away up here. Then to decorate the shelf, I have a lovely little Illumicrate pin. This is to celebrate the invisible life of Addie LaRue. And I just love the look of this pin. I think it looks really, really lovely. And I just like having pins on display. I think it really makes it's a nice bit of decoration, you know? So I like to put this over here to decorate my shelves. And finally, I call this shelf the bookshelf for the books that don't fit anywhere else. Basically, all of these books are just awkward sizes. So we have my Hamilton, big Hamilton the Revolution. And this is really called the Hamiltome for a reason because it is just so big. It is lovely though. And honestly, it doesn't really fit anywhere else. So I like to just keep it down here. I also just have some lifestyle books, some Christmassy books, like this is one of Tanya Burr's book I bought back in the day. This is Tanya's Christmas and it's a book all about Christmas, so I'm a big fan of Christmas, as you know, so I wanted to buy this and get into the festive spirit. Then we have a load of random books here, like really, really random books. But we do have the start of my kind of Robin Hobb series over here. So this is Assassin's Apprentice. This is the start of the Farseer trilogy, I think. So we do have these books down here. And then, of course, I have this little pin, which is just a lovely little addition to the bookshelves, I think. So this is another pin that I got from an Illumicrate box, and it's a sun and moon chain pin set. So I just think this is absolutely stunning, and I really like the way it looks down on my bookshelves. So that is this whole bookshelf done, and you know what? I do really like the look of these bookshelves. I'll give you guys another kind of pan down. But ignore my tripod. They usually just look really, really lovely, especially when I'm filming. I just really like the look of them. Okay, so now we are across the room from those bookshelves. And in this living room as well, we also have these lovely built-in shelves, as you can see. So as you can maybe see right at the top here, I actually store a load of big hardbacks there where basically they won't fit on those bookshelves. So I do have to store them up here. But one thing I want to say about these hardbacks, which I'll give you a peek of in a second, is that they are my all-time favorites. Like, they are like special editions. They are absolutely beautiful. So I like to give them their own very dedicated aesthetic place up here. So let me actually show you what's on these shelves. You know, they're not necessarily bookish, but I think the shelves look quite cute. Okay, so down at the bottom here are actually all of our board games. So you may not know this about me, but I'm a big board game fan. Me and my boyfriend are always playing board games, and he has kind of built this insane collection. So we keep the board games down here, guys, and then the books up top. So this is just a lovely little shelf I've got with a vase and some artificial flowers, but I think they look really cute. What do you think? And then just some little trinkets. We've got a little dice tower here, which is always fun. And then this is just another candle that I've got. This one is called Eden and is fig, sweet berries, cassis and cedarwood. And then panning up to the next shelf, we actually have a little Goomba here. He is well cute. And we have a little L bookend here. So I just think this looks really aesthetic. It's actually, move him out the way, it's actually an old book. So it actually has pages. How cool is that? I bought this from Anthropology, I think. Then we just have a little kind of game print over here. We have some candles, and then these are more like art books, really. So there's a book about space, an anatomy book. These are two kind of like gaming magazines, and then we have this big like Zelda like encyclopedia, I guess. So I think it just looks really cool on this shelf. Lots of little cute little bits. And then above that, we have all of these books, guys. So this might be a little bit too high up for me to kind of show you each individual one, but we have my Dark Artifices special editions here. We have my Cruel Prince series, so Folk of the Air. We have, very, very excitingly, my proof copy of The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. We have a signed first edition of A Dance with Dragons by George R. R. Martin. And then we have some other hardbacks here. So Clockwork Angel, Normal People, the scripts. And then this is a special edition of the Book of Dust. So this is just a quick overview of what these shelves look like. And then finally, we are actually in the dining room here. But we have this like lovely original kind of feature here from the old house that was kind of originally here. But it looks like an oven or it's a fireplace. I'm not sure what it is. But I like to kind of keep, you know, some books in it basically. So let me kind of go through what I have. So excuse the dust. It's very, very dusty and we do need to like dust this. But we have some paperbacks here, a little candle. And then this actually does open, like it's an actual oven, which I think is quite cool. And down at the bottom, we just have some really, really nice hardbacks, which I think look really, really cool. So these are some Illumicrate special editions. We have some proof copies here. And then the rest are just like paperbacks. And then this is a special, lovely old version of Cranford, and it's by Elizabeth Gaskell. So I think this just looks really cute down here. And it's a bit unusual, like it's an unusual feature for the house, but I don't know, I really think it looks really cute. So this is another place where I've had to be inventive, guys, and just put books wherever I can. So guys, I really hope you've enjoyed this whistle-stop tour of my bookshelves. I don't know, I think I do need more bookshelves because I have a massive overcrowding problem on these bookshelves, but I am really pleased with the way that they look. I've tried to make them as cozy and aesthetic as possible, and I would love to know your thoughts down below, what you think of the bookshelves and my book collection. Would you prefer me to film a video basically showing you guys every single book in my collection? I don't know if you would enjoy that, but I basically haven't gone over every single book I own because we would be here for hours. Like maybe that's an idea for a live show or something, you know? So again, thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it and enjoyed this little peek into my bookshelves and inside my London flat. So guys, thank you for watching and I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to subscribe if you did, and I'll be seeing you very soon with another video. Bye.